I'm Isabel.
And I'm Josie.
And we're back for the Halloween special.
Happy spooky season, ladies. Now let's start it off with an old fan favorite.
Scare cam!
You're great in this level. No, go get Becky. Do it, Isabel. I swear to God. Do it for real. Let's run back up. Go, Bear. I'm scared. What was that? I'm sorry, let's go. Oh my God. Did it work? Because she's laughing. Wow. Scare cam! Oh, there's no one in there.
Why are you the worst?
I knew it. I was gonna scare you! I see you.
Scare cam!
Did it scare you? You know what's scaring me? This quiz I'm about to take.
Rolling.
Scare cam!
Dang it. Coach Greg, scream.
Scare cam!
Oh my God, don't do that. Why are you in here?
From one iconic segment to the next.
Let's go check out our spooky sisters.
Hi sisters, I'm Catherine.
I'm Sophia.
And welcome back to the sister segment, Halloween edition.
Today, Catherine will be recreating this look on me.
So grab some spooky cider and keep on watching. So first I'm going to do Sophia's brows and then put on some brow gel. Sophia, what are you gonna be for Halloween?
I am going to be Velma from Scooby-Doo.
I'm gonna be Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Are you kidding me? It's almost as if we planned this.
I know! We're going to start with a light transition purple shade in the crease. If you don't have cool tone purple shadows, then you can mix a warm tone purple with a blue.
What is your favorite Halloween movie?
Hocus Pocus. And Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin.
Halloween.
After I smoked out Sophia's outer V of her eye, now I'm going to add the shimmer.
Would you rather walk through a graveyard at midnight or spend a night in a spooky abandoned old house?
Walk through a graveyard at midnight, definitely.
Would you rather meet a vampire or meet a werewolf?
Vampire.
Oh, vampire all the way.
Are you kidding?
So now I'm going to draw a spider web starting from the wing and going a little bit farther down.
Would you rather watch a scary movie with a scary movie buff or watch a scary movie with a scaredy cat?
A scary movie with a scary movie buff because I'm the scaredy cat. So here's the completed look.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, sisters! So we're going to start by doing Sophia's eyebrows.
Anyway.
Contour to perfection. DIY.
Let your woman know where you stand. Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Large and in charge. Pink. Candy! Candy!
Oh,
Perfect.
that was good. Okay, we're done.
Unleash your inner artist.
Bonjour mes amis, and welcome to a frightful episode of Self-Care with Ceci. Today, we're going to be talking about a rather surprising method of dealing with stress: fear. For some people, watching horror movies can actually help manage anxiety. When we watch horror movies, a part of our brain called the amygdala detects fear and prepares us for the terrifying events to come. At the same time, we are consciously regulating our emotions by reminding ourselves that what we see on screen isn't real. This implies that we can experience negative emotions vicariously in a controlled environment, which may be helpful in regulating anxiety. However, if you do find yourself negatively affected by horror movies, you should check with your mental health care professional, as this method of stress regulation will not work for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, be blessed. Oh, and happy Halloween.
We're a week away from the 2020 presidential election.
So let's go talk to Mr. Bordelon for more information.
Good morning, guys. As you know, early voting has ended in the state of Louisiana, but you can still turn in your ballot in a variety of ways. You can cast your vote by absentee ballot. That's by mailing it or dropping it off at your polling place. It needs to be received by November the 3rd. But of course, you can vote your typical traditional way by showing up at the polls on November 3rd. If you need information about your polling place or any issues, just stop over at Louisiana Voter Portal for more information.
So as you may know, in the United States, laws governing elections are made on a state-by-state level. And so because of that, all the states in the United States have different laws. And so because of this and because of the different precautions many states are taking because of the coronavirus pandemic, we may not have an answer on election night as to who our president is. As you all know from the wonderful Model UN presentation, it takes 270 votes in the Electoral College for someone to be elected president. Now, because of these restrictions, it'll take time for the states to figure out who really won that state. And each state, the winner, either President Donald Trump or Vice President Joe Biden, will win all of the electoral votes of that state. However, we are not sure who our president will be until one person has secured 270 of the votes. If, by some rare chance, the vote ends in a tie or no person gets more than 270, the election then goes to the House of Representatives, and this is all laid out in the U.S. Constitution. In that case, the U.S. House of Representatives will vote in a situation where each state gets one vote. Then whoever wins the majority of those state votes will become the President of the United States. The new President of the United States, or the current president, will remain President of the United States and begin his second term on January 20th at 12 noon Eastern Time. And this process is also laid out in the U.S. Constitution. And Ms. Seiler and I would both like to remind you all that no matter who you vote for, it's just important to vote.
Don't forget to vote. Please cast your vote if you're eligible and encourage your family members to do so as well. The polls are open on November 3rd from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Go vote!
Vote!
It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
The results are in. The winners of the Halloween door decorating contest are, Josie, drum roll please. know what this show needs, Josie?
Well, you can never have too much spook.
Woo!
Okay, so one time for my birthday, my grandparents took me on a hayride with like a ton of my friends and I, and like my grandma hid in the bushes with a clown mask, and then she jumped out and chased us like down the trail, and that was the scariest thing ever.
One time in Spanish class, the headless nun pushed the door closed, and no one was by the door, and locked it.
So a couple nights ago, I was watching TV in my room, and then I heard this huge clap, and I was like, what the heck happened? So I rewind my show to see if it was in the show, and nothing happened, and so I was a little spooked out.
So a long time ago at Sacred Heart, there was a nun who passed away, and she had a phone number that people would always call to talk to her. But after she died, they disconnected the number since it was no longer in use. But one morning, a class got a call from her number, and they picked it up, and it was static, and it was spooky because the number was supposed to have been disconnected. So everyone thinks that it was the nun's ghost.
Like, in my house, I had this really old man that lived there, and he like has lived in his house his whole life. But basically, when we moved in, they like told us the story of him, and I'm pretty sure that the ghost lives in my house because a bunch of random stuff falls over. And yeah.
I'd like to tell you a story that what happened to me back in college. It's about a ghost that we saw in our house where we were living at. And apparently when we eat, we used to be like, slobs, college kids, throw dishes in the sink and hopefully somebody else will do it. And nobody ever gets done. But one morning I woke up, I went to the kitchen and found out all these dishes there were all cleaned up, put away, neatly, all put away. And I go, what the heck? Somebody must have changed their mind or something. So I asked all my buddies there if they done any cleaning. He goes, are you kidding? I don't clean. So I go, well, who's been doing it then? This is actually, it happened more than one time. So all of a sudden, we see this bright white light with a shadowy figure behind the white light. The figure looks like a person, but it was kind of vague, but still it resembled a person. And he's that person, or that light that looks like a person, start washing all the dishes and neatly put them all away. And we looked at each other, and I says, well, that's who's been washing the dishes. This house was owned by an old gentleman back in 1839. And he was so, we've heard about it, that he was very obsessed with cleanliness, especially washing dishes and whatever. And he was a nice ghost. He never meant any harm to anybody.
So I was driving home with my mom, and we were passing by Best Buy in Elmwood, and there's this guy with a creepy mask on, and he was banging on a bunch of people's car windows, and he came up to mine, and I started crying because I was freaked out.
So our super spooky story is that one time we were at cross-country practice, and all of a sudden, Greg brought out the bike. And that's when you know, it's scary.
My spooky story is the year 2020.
Thanks for having us.
We'll see you next time. Or not.